Good evening, my friends. It's VJ Franz K. We're going to do a quick unboxing of this, the Volca Mix. As you can see, we have the other Volcas waiting to be mixed. So we'll open the package. Korg is still using these silver boxes, which they're fairly minimal, with stickers to illustrate what's going on inside, but this is an era of a lot of people buying things online rather than in stores. So I got this from Noisebug, by the way, which has an online website for you to buy as well as visiting the showroom. Here's the manual. Connect your inspiration. And actually, this is a larger box than the rest of the Volcas arrived in because they have these extra cables here. Power cables as well as link cables included. And then here is a power adapter. And this looks pretty similar to the one on the Electribe series. Probably is. So then here in the box, the Volca Mix. Notice it's not called a mixer, even though I think it could be called a mixer. Take it out. And here we go. Put it side by side with the other Volcas. It's similar in size and shape, as you would hope, fits right beside them. Let's move it right into the view here and put it beside the Volca keys. Just look at, it's light, but it doesn't contain any batteries, so that's one thing. And there's no battery hatch on the back for that reason. So here we are. Put it in position. Notice 3 faders. And then we have the low high cut knob, which is like they have on the Volca sample. It's a nice sounding feature. And then we have the line out. And in a minute, I'm going to connect the line out to the camera, so you will hear the line out audio. So these are the power cables right here, the DC power out. And let's see. Connect all of these up. One of the reasons why you might select the Volca mixer instead of a regular mixer is because it does include this power feature. Frankly, after using the Volcas for a while with batteries, it does get a bit repetitive to always be replacing and recharging all of your batteries. If you have several Volcas in your studio as well as Electribes and other machines, that's a lot of batteries that you have to constantly being recharged. You have to constantly recharge your batteries to be ready for our show or whatever. But here, we'll just plug in, yep, looks like the standard modern Korg adapter. Just plug this in, and then we'll be able to power these guys from there. All right, that's connected. There's a blue LED readout. Interesting, different than the other Volcas with their yellow or red. It's we have as many cables as a modular studio, not quite, but a lot of cables. And in the end, if you're hooking up all of these Volcas, you almost are getting into the modular territory there, and it might be a way for you to learn more about modular. I'm going to plug in the Volca bass because it's simpler, but I do like the larger centrally placed knobs on there. Whereas with the Volca keys you have all of these knobs and features, but it's a little bit hard to reach them all when you're in the middle of playing. So I'll leave this connection number 2 for the Volca keys. I've started using the 3 of them together in a trio, you might say. They're like the members of a band, you know, sort of like the classic electribes were, where you had the red and blue that would do the synthesizer and the drums. Let's see. We'll use these 3 to begin with. Switch them all on. Let's see. I guess I will connect the audio ins from the Volca mix. Actually, we'll hear its built-in speakers before I plug it in, just so you know what those sound like. It's nice to have built-in speakers. Actually, after I got some gear with built-in speakers, I began to think that all machines should have a small speaker included, just because sometimes you don't have your speakers or amplification handy, but you still want to play or practice, or say you're picking out what tracks you want to play before the performance. You might want to just be there with your instrument. So, see, this will be a bit of cable spaghetti in the end, and there's not really a way around that with these machines because all of the cables come out of the top. But actually that is a bit easier to accommodate than the cables going to the side and other directions. Connect this here to Volca keys on number 2, and then here the Volca beats. And one thing is, except for the kick drum, the Volca beats is quieter than the other Volcas, you may decide. So perhaps with this mixer we can sort of even out the levels of these things. And even more, we have the sync. Even more cables. Do you dare to add more cables to this lineup? But if you've kept the cables from your Volcas ready, here, we'll just start this one going. So we have some notes. So there's the fader. We can adjust the low cut or high cut. It's like a simple EQ. Yeah, it seems loud enough. Loud enough for a tabletop show. But we'll see how it sounds in a minute through the main system. So we also have the sync out. That's another thing that makes the Volca mix special, is that it sends out this Volca compatible sync signal. So sync in to the Volca base. Does it receive? Let's see. All right, it's receiving, so that's good. Or what I may want to do is, I've often connected the sync out to connect the sync into the drums maybe. Got all of the connections just about made. Stop and go there. Look at all these wires. All right, well, so you can hear the Volca beats coming through. Seems to be working as we expect. Oh, the tempo it's a clicky feature, so each click is one tempo point. That's good actually, because it makes it easy to precisely adjust your tempo. All right, let's try connecting. I'm going to turn down the master volume there, and I'll try connecting the line level RCA plugs. So here we go. So that's connected, and then I can choose to leave. Let's see. So I can choose to leave the speakers on or turn them off. that sounds quite nice, actually. So another thing we can do is send out and then use the aux in. But I had the weird idea that we might be able to use the aux in to plug in even one more Volca or something else. And I think that would work okay. You get a send knob for each channel, so that is conveniently ready for you to do that. Indeed, I wish they had 4 or even more Volcas on here, because since there are, let's see, how many Volca are there? There are several. There are 6 Volca, I believe. The 3 we have here, the sample, the kick, and the Volca FM. And I don't have those ones yet, but it's interesting. By adjusting these knobs, it's almost like you have your filter sweep going on here. And you can really sort of accentuate the parts of the sound with this. Sounds nice. There's that very bassy kick from the Volca beats. Indeed. Let's try doing something here. We'll switch out the Volca beats for the Volca sample, as a lot of people have done. I see. It's still in sync, and you now hear its little speakers, or its little single speaker playing. Out of sync with the rest of its brothers or sisters or whatever they are, cousins. With the Electribes or the Volca, you really do think of them sort of like a band of people working together to play some interesting music. Oh yes, I noticed that plugging the Volca sample, channel 3 and 4 are stereo. So